So Samsung has finally announced the Galaxy S26 Ultra. It's a fantastic phone overall, but there are some downgrades as well as some upgrades. Let me tell you all about them. The first upgrade and major highlight has to be the display and the features of it. It's saying 6.9-inch Quad HD Plus Dynamic AMOLED panel, but this time it's actually the M14 OLED panel, which even if you don't know is much more thinner. That's why the chassis is more thinner this time. It's now 7.9mm, down from 8.2mm of the last year's model. But at the same time, it is also much more power efficient and offers more richer gradients and whatnot. And there are reasons behind it, because this panel is actually capable of outputting 1 billion colors compared to 16 million of most phones. Means actually it is a 10-bit panel. Sadly, as the downgrade is that Samsung hasn't upgraded the display as 10-bit at all. They are claiming it has much more better color accuracy, much more better color reproduction, as well as smoother gradients using AI and whatnot, but it's still an 8-bit panel on their website. The display, even though could have been much more brighter, but they kept it at 2600 nits, just like the last model or last model, the S24 Ultra. I mean, maybe it's more efficient, but that's where they kept it at, because M14 OLED panel is much more capable than that. The upgrade, yes, they allow the privacy display technology. This is a big, huge upgrade, a big talking point. It can do the software magic in a crazy way. You can just hide the notification. You can hide only the password filling place. I mean, like, this is crazy thing, crazy stuff. They could have just upgraded the display to slightly more. Like, they could have made the brightness go higher. The second thing has to be the design. The design surely is not an upgrade in any means, but it's much more slimmer and much more lighter. That's a good upgrade, let's call it. But the downgrade is that even though it's much more refined design and curved edges, much less boxier compared to the last model or even last model, the S24 Ultra. But the problem is it is very hard to differentiate this phone from the S25 Plus or S26 Plus or S26 even. It kind of feels very similar to that. Whether that's a good thing or bad thing, that's up to you. And then the biggest downgrade, the material. The Samsung Galaxy S26 Ultra does have an aluminum frame, and they're calling it the armor aluminum. And if I tell you about that, the titanium is much more stronger and much more premium feeling than aluminum any given day. And the last two Ultra models had titanium, but Samsung certainly switched to armor aluminum, keeping the price the same, because the last time they used it is actually the S23 Ultra. It is a good thing, but I'm saying why you go backwards again. The next thing has to be the battery and charging. The S26 Ultra finally gets a much more faster and much more stable 45-watt charging, which they are calling as 60-watt. In the battery department, it always has a peak charging speed, but then it stabilizes at a certain wattage. And this time it's going to be a much more better or stable 45-watt charging, and sometimes it will be able to peak at 60 watts. So that's why it says 60-watt charging. And the better part is that it does also have wireless charging support up to 25 watt, but you have to use the first party or third party magnetic cases that also getting sold by Samsung or third party companies. Samsung ones will cost you like $34 or $80 too, depending on which model you want to go for. But yeah, they are selling you that to have the MagSafe charging or the Qi 2 supported charging. But the downgrade is the battery hasn't even been changed. Yeah, they made the phone slimmer, but they could have just made the phone slightly more thicker and made the battery more larger, but they didn't. Next, the cameras. The main camera is again 200 megapixel camera, just like it was on the S23 Ultra, S24 Ultra, or even the S25 Ultra, but now this time it's having a 1.4 aperture. Compared to the 1.7 aperture of the last year's model, it's actually a much better thing for better low light performance in terms of photo quality, as well as much more better video or much less grainier videos using the main camera or the 2x of it. The 5x camera also got the similar kind of upgrade, f2.9 down from f3.4. This is a big upgrade because if you don't know, the 5x camera in the night wasn't that much useful on the older models. Now it will be much more better in terms of taking photos as well as videos. So this is a big upgrade. But then the downgrade is that they haven't even bothered to change the resolution of the 3x camera. It's a bit similar to the S21 Ultra from 2021, I guess. Too old. Samsung need to change that, so they didn't. Next, the performance. Well, there is no downgrade. The S26 Ultra is powered by the Snapdragon 8 Elite Gen 5 chipset. it's massively powerful. Even if you look at the early benchmarking numbers done by some early units which were bought from Dubai or some other places, but even if you look at those performance numbers, they are crazy good. It also does have LPDDR5X RAM with support up to 10 plus gigabits per second RAM speed. So this is incredible. Plus, you also have the 16GB of RAM option, 16 and 1TB option globally available. So this is another good thing. And if you don't know, the Snapdragon 8 Elite Gen 5 has crazy good performance because of the core cluster. The two prime cores, the Orion V3 Phoenix L cores, are running at 4.74 GHz. That's just an incredible number for a smartphone. And then there are the 6 performance plus efficiency cores running at 3.62 GHz. This is a big upgrade overall. It's a 3nm processor still, but in other markets, the Exynos 2600 will actually power the Galaxy S26 and the S26 Plus. And that's also a very good upgraded processor. This year still, they didn't add the Bluetooth back to the S Pen for no reason. It still doesn't have the Bluetooth functionality. Let me know about your thoughts in the comment section below. What do you think? This is a fantastic device overall. I really like it, but I'm probably not gonna upgrade. What you're gonna do, let me know.
And yes, if you want, you can get some crazy cool wallpapers up on my website. A link down below. Until the next one, bye and take care.